What's going on, everybody? Today we're planting some bare root fruit trees, so stick around while we knock up some soil. The compost we're dealing with today isn't the highest quality. As you can see, there's quite a lot of wood fibres in this material. It is well composted, so all we'll really be doing is adding a few amendments to bring up the fertility. I won't be adding any aeration because these are outside trees. We're going to start by adding some worm castings. I have 40 litres of compost in the wheelbarrow at the moment, and I'll be adding 4 litres of worm compost, 2, 3, and 4. There we go. The next addition is really just to add some fertility. We have some rock dust here. This should help feed the microbes. Adds that tiny bit of aeration because I'm not really adding any aeration. There's 1 litre going in. Don't need huge amounts of rock dust. The final thing I'll be adding today is a mycorrhizal inoculant. This is Myco Surge from Green Hand Organics. Not affiliated or sponsored, but definitely do some very high quality products, so that's what I'll be adding to these. I should have measured, but we're talking about a tablespoon for 40 litres. And now let's get this all mixed up. With our soil mixed up, it's time to take a look at the trees. So as these are bare root trees, it's a good idea to soak the root mass for 24 hours before potting up or planting. These will be going into 30 litre pots, and I think we're going to be starting with a pear tree. And there we have it, variety Conference pear. So you can see this is a grafted variety. You'll see the graft just here with a little collar where it's grafted to the rootstock. This is a semi-dwarfing rootstock, so it should only get to about 2.5 meters tall. I'm going to make sure the graft is well above the soil level, as any water shoots developing from the root mass will need to be removed, as they can reduce the vigor from the tree above the graft point, which is where we want all our fruit to be coming from. So I'm going to part fill the pot, firm it in nicely, and then I will be holding the tree about the depth I want it. So the graft is well above, the roots are just below, so we should retain the root flare, and I'm just going to throw handfuls in at a time. This way the roots will naturally lay where they want to be. I'm not compressing the roots too much. They should fill in with no air pockets this way. It's also a good idea to give a gentle shake of the trees at this point to help the soil fall in amongst the roots. So we're just going to go up to around 1 inch from the top of this pot, at which point we will firm it in again slightly. Paying attention to make sure all the roots are nicely filled in. And you see it's now freestanding, so I can use 2 hands to continue filling the pot. Gently firming as we go. And that is almost our pear tree planted. We have 2 other varieties we'll be planting today, and this is to begin a container garden mini orchard. So the idea is that these 3 trees, Conference pear, and the other two varieties, which will be shown shortly, they're all either self-fertile, semi-self-fertile, or they are pollinators for each other as well. So with these 3 trees alone, you should be able to start seeing the benefits of growing your own fruit at home. Right, so we got 2 more of these to get planted. I will burn through them quite quickly so you haven't got to suffer too much. Let's start with the Braeburn apple. The final variety we'll be planting today is a plum variety, Victoria. If you've enjoyed the content so far, please do consider giving us a like. And for more gardening tips and watching our backyard orchard grow and container garden develop, please do consider hitting the subscribe button below. Always incredibly important to water in thoroughly once you've done any planting, especially with bare root trees. We're trying to reduce the amount of stress on the root zone. You might see 2 additional trees here, which are previous additions to our patio fruit tree garden. These are another conference pear and another Victoria plum. So these are going to have a really nice watering in, making sure they're completely soaked. They're in a sheltered location where they shouldn't get beaten by the wind too badly, and the additional pots around them should also help them retain some of the warmth and help them survive the winter time. So thank you very much for watching, and we shall see you all in the next episode.